Welcome to the third part of this presentation on how to use the Susy Stereotactic system from Inomed. In the first part we dealt with the ring, in the second with imaging and the phantom, and here we will look at how to use the stereotactic arc. It is now time to assemble the stereotactic arc, and here you see all the components and their names. The reducing tubes or guiding tubes come in different sizes depending on the instrument you are using. They are identical for the instrument guide and instrument holder. Some of the tubes are solid, while others can be separated in halves, which might be of interest during some implantations. Note also that the reducing tubes are compressible, so if you have a problem introducing or moving your probe, then lighten the screws holding them. Select the appropriate size and insert it into the instrument guide and another one into the instrument holder. And lock it with the green screw. And you can use your fingers or the red torque wrench for these and other screws. Note that there is a protruding part on the tube, which should be fitted into the corresponding indentation in the guide and holder. And make sure that the tube is flat and not elevated above the surface of the guide or holder. On the arc, slide the aiming bow to the right on the retainer to make it accessible. Then slide the instrument carrier onto the right end of the aiming bow and all the way to the actual arc angle, which in this example is 105 degrees, and lock it with the yellow screw. Insert the instrument holder from above into the right side of the instrument carrier. There is a metallic wheel on the right side of the carrier that can be used to move the instrument holder, but now just insert it to 0 mm and lock it with the blue screw. Then insert the instrument guide into the left side of the instrument carrier from below, place it a few millimeters from the instrument guide and lock it with the blue screw. Slide the aiming bow to your A coordinate, which in this case is 88. This is easiest done with the thumbs on each side of the bow and then lock it with the big black screw on the back of the retainer. Regarding both the A, B and C coordinates, we have a vernier scale. When the coordinate is an integer, that is not a decimal number, then the central marker on the scale should be perfectly aligned with the corresponding marking on the other side, and none of the other markings on the vernier scale should be perfectly aligned with the markings on the other side. If the coordinate is a decimal number, then we will first align the central marker with the closest integer and then move it in the positive or negative direction as seen on the scale to increase or decrease it with the desired decimal. If we want 87.5, then we start with 88 and move slightly in the negative direction until the fifth marker on the vernier scale is perfectly aligned with the marker on the other side. Or we start with 87 and move in the positive direction in the same manner. With all other decimals, only one marker will be perfectly aligned with the marking on the other side, as we see in the two other examples. To get 96.9, we start on 97 and move in the negative direction until the first marker on the vernier scale is aligned with the marker on the other side. I suggest that you now pause the video and make sure that you have a good understanding of this. You can now set the actual ring angle on the drums on both sides, but from an ergonomic point of view, it is easier to set the ring angle to 180 degrees on both drums and then lock the white screws. Every marking on the ring represents 2 degrees, but you can set the ring angle down to 0.5 degrees using the scale as seen in these examples. And I recommend that you pause the video here for a short time to make sure that you understand how this scale works. We then continue with the B rails with the connecting crosses. Take one of the B rails with connecting cross with the scales upwards and the big black screw towards you. Move along the scale with the blue silicone wheel and set the B coordinate, which in this case is 97, and lock it with the blue screw. Then repeat on the other side. You will not be able to put the B rails with connecting cross on the wrong side, but in order not to waste time trying, you can put them like this, with the white scales facing each other and the big black screws facing you and the arc. Then the left B rail will be on the left side and the right on the right side. Further, the two sides are not identical. If you look at the back, you will find an indentation as seen here on the right B rail, but not on the left. Now it is time to set the coordinates on the C rail. Slide the connecting cross on the B rail onto the C rail. And set the C coordinate, which in this case is 46. And lock the blue screw. Then repeat on the other side. For finer adjustments, you can use the blue silicone wheel on the back side to move along the C rail. If you have not done so yet, then you can now set the ring angle on the drums on both sides, in this case 130 degrees, and then lock the white screw. I will here also mention a feature on the drums which you might use later during the procedure. On the inside of the drums you have a wheel. If you rotate this forward after you have set the angle and locked the white screws, then you can later, when the white screws are open, move the arc forwards, but when moving it backwards again, it will more or less stop at the previous angle. If you instead rotate the wheels backwards, you will be able to move the arc backwards, but it will stop at the previous angle when moved forward. This simplifies the process of folding the arc out and back during surgery without the need to repeatedly find the correct ring value. It is then time to mount the arc on the phantom, and you here see that there are 2 pegs on the phantom and 2 corresponding holes in the arc. Simply put the pegs into the holes and then tighten the 2 big black screws behind the holes on both sides. And make sure that there is no space between the phantom and the arc. Introduce your test needle and make sure that you are reaching the target, the tip of the rod in the phantom, and that the angles seem reasonable. You can instead, for a pointer, use the tool you intend during surgery, such as a radiofrequency electrode, in which case you can also rotate the tool to make sure that it is straight. Remember that 190 mm is the functional length of your instrument. A sedan biopsy needle will be 190 mm to the middle of the biopsy window. Thus, the tip of that instrument will extend beyond the target and beyond the tip of the phantom. We can then move the arc from the phantom to the ring, which should now be fastened with a ring clamp to the Mayfield in the operation table, as we described earlier. However, in order to fasten the ring, we first need to add the adaptations to the ring. The adaptations are sterile and should be mounted after the head and ring has been covered with a sterile transparent plastic sheet. As previously discussed, the ring has 2 pairs of holes on the sides, and the adaptations have 2 pegs on the inside corresponding to these. Press the pegs through the plastic and into the holes, and then tighten the 2 screws on the back of each adaptation. And make sure that there is no space between the adaptations and the ring after tightening the screws. Then just mount the arc on the ring adaptations in the same manner as you did on the phantom, and you're ready to start the surgery. We will of course move the arc and change the ring angle during the procedure in order to make the skin incision and such. However, You now have the necessary information on how to use the Susy system. If you would like to see all aspects of the procedure, then please have a look at the lecture Implanting a DBS System. This is featuring another frame, but there are no differences of interest regarding the surgery itself. Further, we plan to add a video during 2026 by Professor Yilmaz demonstrating the whole procedure with the Susy frame. And remember that you will find more than 250 other lectures at the Stereotactic Academy regarding lesional procedures, biopsies, and much more. Thank you for your attention.